Alright, well, once we have our co-caster in here, we will hopefully have a fun time. But for now, we have the AD2L Season 5 In-House League episode or game number in of something. This time we will have for the Dyers, Submaniac, Phalangia, Jakey, Apollo, and Death. And on the Radiant we will have something. We'll call him probably Chinese for this game. Taylor, Prohibit, MaYaTOVENT, and ChickenCourier. And first four bands, pretty typical. Axe actually made it through. Typically you'll see the Juggernaut, Troll, Tide, and Axe band. But Axe made it through and it snapped up in second pick. See if we can't get our co-caster in here.
Dyer's ban.
So then the Lion first pick and the Bristleback as the third. Bristleback is quite good against Vengeful Spirit and pretty good against Axe. The Culling Blade goes through his passive, of course, but
Radiance ban.
so our co-caster will be joining us after the draft phase.
Dyer's ban.
But Axe and Bristleback both enjoy long drawn-out fights, and I think Bristleback gets the upper hand in that. So Radiant choosing to ban out a Shadow Fiend after the Dyer ban out a Viper. Both teams sort of concerned about strong mid lane heroes, especially with the Quap being banned out as well. So we might see a weaker mid lane, maybe an Invoker or an Ember Spirit picked up this game.
Hurry, hurry.
Can you hear me, Burning?
Reserve time.
Alright, well,
Radiant's turn to royally screwed up.
and a Sniper band as well. So I'm really interested to see what kind of mids they choose, especially since both heroes have or both teams rather, have the beginnings of a pretty good ganking support duo. And if we have a weak mid laner versus a weak mid laner, we could see some really interesting builds on maybe a Jakey Lion again. And the Omni Knight picked up for the Venge, so that's not quite so good in the ganking, or in the ganking aspect, but he will be huge for the Axe. Axe can call, and Omni can heal, followed by an ulti once Axe's call armor runs out. And that will be absolutely ridiculous for the early team fights. Medusa picked up by the Dyer, pretty strong hero, immediately answered by the Slark. Medusa versus Slark at the end of the game. Doesn't always go Medusa's way. Slark can turn away and leap out during her ulti, and then he comes back in, and he gets a lot of right clicks off on her. He gets a lot of right clicks off on the Bristleback, and he can steal 100, 200 agi in the space of a team fight. Especially since he has the Omni Light on him, he has the Venge swap to save him if he gets stunned and hasn't used his Purge. And quite interesting to see how these two heroes fare against each other late game. I think that Dyer are going to want to pick up a later support here, probably save their mid choice for last, since they've already banned out some strong mids and there isn't a mid showing for the Radiant yet. So we'll probably see something, maybe I would say a Visage, but I don't think there's any Visage players on that team. And I go for the Venomancer. So lots of vision, good slows, a much better ganking support duo, so they're also seeing, these are going to be a pair of weak mid laners, and we want to get more off the laning stage here. We're pretty confident in our Medusa late game against their Slark. So we can afford to get something that scales, perhaps not quite as well.
5 seconds remain. Reserve time.
And as Radiant get into their bonus time, let's see what would be really terrible for them to play against Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer is pretty good against Axe because his illusions don't really care about the armor because they're doing diffusal damage. And he only gets the call off, and he probably is not going to be able to get the chop, so pretty good ban for them. And that's probably the only reason they won it. He's not all that great against Slark or Omni Knight, at least not more than he is against any other hero. What do they want for their last hero, though? They have an offlane. They need a mid here. Invoker could be good, especially since... Oh, they're going to go for a Storm Spirit. Okay, so Storm Spirit is maybe a little risky here. He can't burst either of their cores early, but he will definitely be able to take out this Venomancer. The Lion could be a harder pick. If he can't keep the Lion... If he cannot keep, rather, the Lion slowed and stunned, silenced and stunned throughout the duration of the burst, then that Lion can potentially turn it around on him with his Hex and maybe an Earth Spike, potentially even Finger, coming in to end that Storm nuisance.
Reserve time.
We didn't really talk about the TA was banned, another strong mid hero, fairly strong mid hero. Interesting that TA was banned since Venomancer was since they picked Venomancer already. TA still could have gone mid, but Venomancer, you know, pretty good against the hero in team fights. Even winning that lane probably wouldn't have done TA a whole lot of good come mid game. And Dire are sort of in a conundrum. So they're going to pick a Doom. This is a mid Doom. No, it could be a mid Doom, could be a mid Dusa. But Doom is potentially a very greedy and risky pick here, since he is fairly weak at moving away from ganks. Doesn't really have a strong escape potential until he gets a Blink Dagger. And the Radiant team is very, very much focused around early game ganking into mid game team fighting. Doom doesn't really fare that well against such a draft, so he's going to go safe lane. Medusa's going to go mid. Medusa can potentially handle these mid ganks a little bit better, but let's go ahead and introduce the teams. On the Radiant, we have Axe being played by Prohibit, Slark being played by MaYaTOVENT, Storm Spirit being played by Kanji. No, that's Chinese characters. Carestar. Omni Knight being played by Taylor, and we missed Vengeful Spirit being played by ChickenCourier. On the Dire, we have Death playing the Lion. We have a safe lane Doom being played by Submaniac. We have another support duo, or another member of the support duo being played by Phalangia on the Venomancer. Our mid Medusa is going to be played by Jakey. And Apollo will be playing the off-lane Bristleback. So we're actually going to see a dual lanes come out of the Radiant, which is potentially quite strong. Axe, in cutting the wave, usually can't deal with a strong tri-lane, at least not in the first few levels. But if he has that extra heal on him, he'll be able to cut the creeps very, very quickly, and they should get a 3 or 4 minute tower if they play this well. Burning, can you hear me yet?
Yes, I can.
Alright.
This feels like it might be a little bit tactical, deciding what to do.
Once again,
Nah, this happens most every game, just early lag spikes, especially... Well, not especially, it happens pretty much every game. Usually a little earlier, but it's consistent. And bounty runes being picked up, one by each team, just onto their... the Radiant choose to put it on their carry and the Slark, while the Dire actually choose to put it on a support. Since the Dire have the stronger roaming support duo, probably makes sense to have it on that Venomancer or Lion. And Venomancer got the Lion's share. I feel bad already, I'm sorry.
I feel like Lion should have given one of the sentries down to Bristleback so he could have blocked this stack and pull camp on the tri-lane.
Well, probably, but it looks like they're not going to be doing that, so we're not going to be stacking and pulling. And it is actually going to be a tri-lane, safe lane. The Omni Knight may be TPing down to bottom. No, he has all his gold. I guess he just walked So, excuse me. So far, as far as last hit goes, it's pretty much even across the board. Neither team is really getting much more than the other. Dusa, though, being actually still ahead of the Storm Spirit, even though she's forced to last stand under tower, which is obviously not ideal for the Storm. It looks like, yeah, he pushed the wave a little early, I think. Or maybe Medusa just got a better block off. Fairly quiet first few minutes for one of these particular games. Usually I've already seen a rotation and a kill or two by now. And I think that would honestly suit the rating. If they can kill this Medusa, it really depends on who gets level 6 first. But so far she's ahead of the Storm. And doesn't look to be stopping. But Storm is going to be able to salve up and get the last hits for his bottle. And from there, he should be able to harass this Medusa out quite effectively.
That double damage rune, it might be effective if they can get a gank on the Storm Spirit.
They could, but it looks like Lion's just going to move back up. Axe does not have vision up here. Where's the other Radiant Ward? Am I blind? I only see one. Did one get dewarded? Oh, they dewarded it. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So he won't see them coming. Come nighttime will be their biggest opportunity, I think. He's still level 2, which is really good since these supports are actually both out-leveling him. And the two safe lane carries at this point actually are exactly the same in CS. 14, well, not anymore, but 14 and 7 to 15 and 7. Bristleback trying to get a lot. I feel like that Omni Knight. Oh, right here we're going to see some right clicks and a pounce onto the Bristleback from the Slark. They're going to hit him a couple times. But he's going to keep throwing out spines, and if they're not careful, they could kill themselves on the spines. Bristleback's going to walk back for a bit. Not Bristleback, Slark's going to move back to try and purge those spines.
Ooh.
Storm not quite 6.
Times up the roach, maybe?
That's what he's going to attempt, but he's got to be careful about it. Oh, but that, yeah, he managed to get it. That one last right click coming in from the Storm, just enough to bring him down low enough for Rosh to deny. So well played by the Bristle. He drew 4 heroes to rotate, and now the Doom and the Medusa are both ahead of the Slark and the Storm Spirit. I believe that is...
Top looks like there could be a kill.
Yeah, it's actually going to be first blood onto the Venomancer.
Going down.
But he will be return killed,
Axe
probably.
might pay for it.
Oh no. Doom decides he wants to get a creep instead.
Wow.
So Axe definitely looked like he was going to die there, but not quite working out for them. Even with these two deaths though, the one on the Bristleback and the first blood from the Axe onto the Venomancer, the Dire are still ahead in farm on both of their cores. Or on 2 of their cores. All 3 of their cores, actually. Bristleback getting a lot more out of the lane than...
Dire has a 1000 XP gold lead, not gold lead, XP advantage as well. So seems like Dire is having a bit of an edge here, even with that first blood going to the Axe.
Bottom lane is really starting to go Bristleback's way since the Venge started to rotate towards mid, but she's going to get a stun off on the Bristleback here. Nope, not going to go for it. They do have the tools here to, I think... Oh no, they don't have quite enough mana for the heal on the Omni. If they did, they would be able to kill the Bristleback, but a Venomancer is sitting here ready for a counter gank. And there's no Dire Vision, or Radiant Vision. See how this goes. Lion getting some solo XP top since Doom got taken down.
Midas on Doom might be a kill bottom. Nope, just some harass. Not enough damage.
Believe, yeah, Axe killed him. He does manage to pick up his Midas though. So now Axe starts the creep cutting. He's starting to go on this Lion. And Lion actually did not quite die to the dot, but the spins are going to clean him up. Venomancer coming in, he does get the Gale off. It's a level 2 Gale, so there are some ticks of damage, and he might be able to get it. Now he has the double slow because he has the Poison Sting tick on him as well, but there's no other heroes around. And Venno can't quite catch up to him without boots. Still though, Deuce is farming well. She has her phase boots, she has her bottle. I always prefer treads on this hero, but we see a lot more phase. Particularly for more active early Medusas. And a DD actually picked up as well, so this could be the mid tower if Storm decides to go gank another lane. Ben's just, actually no, she's not going to stack it, she's just going to pull it out and wipe the creep wave. Bristleback is still being pretty ballsy up here. I think that Radiant do have the tools to kill this Bristleback, they just have to be more careful. Like on these pounces, they've been hitting his back a lot, but should be able to rotate around onto his front. And Axe is actually moving forward onto the Doom. He's using a maxed, oh, he's actually maxed Battle Hunger. But he's going to die. Not before a spin takes out the Doom, though.
Spin to win. That's 2 spin to wins for Axe.
Doom does have his Midas, though.
Axe with spins.
It's pretty late to have just Midas Brown Boots at this point, but he will still be able to get the maximum efficiency out of it, because his Midas was not quite close enough to cool down for that to matter. Bristleback going in onto bottom. He's taking some right clicks from the Slark, but he's trying to get some spines off. Slark will just wand and pounce out, and he'll be totally okay. Looks like Dire gearing up for a push onto this top lane. Blink is not yet available for the Axe. He's got a while to go yet. He gets the call off. He's going to tank some creeps to try and get some more spins. He gets doomed now. So now he has to move back. Oh, Doom is... When did that change? Doom is no longer disabling counter helix. He should get denied up here. Yep. Venge gets the deny off. And unfortunately, Battle Hunger not quite enough to take out the Doom all the way.
Knife, and I must point out that the now only Ags disables passives, if you did not remember that. So,
oh, right. That was how they got Doom to stop being picked every game. I remember now.
Yeah, I think that was like 6.82, I think.
Ben just looking to go for a nice kill here. She gets the Howl and Magic Missile as well, but Doom's going to be A-okay. He already was flying a Salve in, so he's going to heal right up. And the double slow onto the Vengeful Spear is going to show that she gets down. Last hit going to the Doom. And that'll really bring his farm back up to par. Well, at least it's a start.
Storm Spirit TPing top.
They want to go on the Doom. Meanwhile, Bristleback is diving the tower bottom. But he's not going to be able to get anything here. It looks like Storm zipping onto the Doom and Axe Culling Blade. He's going to need another one over here onto the Vengeful Spirit. Dunk, dunk. Bristleback is able to kill off the Omni Knight in bottom. Not able to get any more yet. And he's going to back off.
Meanwhile, mid, there's a slow siege tower with Medusa.
That DD rune not quite paying off yet, but quite a bit of chip damage put on. Just one moment while I fix an issue in Skype.
New treasures.
Alright. I apologize. I wanted to prevent extra noises from showing up anymore.
Poor Axe.
Well, he has managed to keep both of these supports, a very strong roaming ganking support duo, from rotating onto the Storm Spirit at any point before he got level 6. So even though he died a couple times,
Look mid, look mid.
Storm and Venge going onto the Medusa. She uses Stone Gaze. Storm's going to look at her and turn to stone. But, oh, Vengeance isn't quite level 6 yet. She was in range for a swap, but she is not 6. There's not anything going to come of that. Storm probably not going to zip in now that Venge is leaving. Axe still moving forward. He does spot out the lion here now, so he's going to move back. Creep wave's pushing. Nothing really going to come of it. Looks like Pounce is missed by the Slark. Can't quite hit the Bristleback, but he's going to be perfectly, maybe not perfectly fine. He uses his ulti to get away here. So ulti forced out by Bristle, really strong. We're really good for him. Axe choosing to max counter Helix after Battle Hunger. Not getting the extra points in call. Bristleback is moving forward once again. He's being really aggressive, but there's 3 heroes now. And Slark, he gets bubbled by the Omni Knight. He's going to keep trying to get some right clicks. He has the mana for Pounce. Storm's going to come in and pull him first. A Pounce, a Magic Missile, and that Bristleback is going to get cleaned up. But again, a 4-hero rotation to kill him. And he's still getting quite a bit out of the lane and making hella space for the Medusa, who is the highest net worth by 500 right now, 10% of the next highest hero's net worth. Max might get a kill here. A Doom being used at the very end of what looks like an aggressive play by the Axe. Axe not having quite enough mana to use the Culling Blade and finish off the Doom.
If Venno didn't have this slow there, he would have been able to deny himself. Good intentions by Axe, but didn't work out in his favor.
And Doom up here, actually, he chooses to get Arcane Boots after a Hand of Midas, so this could be a Blink Arcane Shiva's Doom instead of a hard right-click. And since they have a Medusa, I actually kind of really like this.
Doom does not want to leave lane for anything. He just keeps burying out salves to himself.
Well, that's the right thing to do, usually. This Axe, though, could kill him if he's not careful. Oh, Storm, actually, is going to zip on forward. He's going to get the vision. He throws out a right click, he zips again, and he does kill the Doom. But he might go down to this Venomancer using...
Like might be a dead Storm.
Yeah, Poison Nova being used, as well as Venomous Gale, and the right clicks, and the Veno wards. And Storm, since he used all his mana on the Doom, is going to go down. Potentially a worthwhile trade. Let's see, Storm, he didn't lose any gold. He was able to buy out before he died, working towards his Orchid. Doom, on the other hand, choosing not to buy out, he did lose the full gold, and his Midas is on cooldown, so definitely a worthwhile trade for the Storm. We don't see Medusa dying at the rune, most likely to a Slark. Axe actually did it. So she probably got harassed out of lane by Axe or by Slark and then moved to the rune. Axe blinked on her and cold her.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Bristleback pushing the bottom tower, getting pinged out. Looks like they want to go do something about it. Storm's going to TP in, zip forward. He does use the pull. He's going to keep zipping forward and getting the right clicks on the Bristleback. Omni Knight's going to come in with a heal. And that will clean up the Bristleback. That pure damage going straight through the Bristleback passive. Clark looking like he maybe wanted to pounce there, but since the creeps were being cleaned up by the Mystic Snake, deciding he wanted to think better of it. Didn't really want to tank tower.
Radiant have fortified their towers. Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Radiant's top tower is under siege.
And it looks like Dire are expecting a gank onto their Medusa in mid, so they are rotating 2 heroes in to be ready to counter gank. They do get spotted out by Radiant's Observer Ward, though. The Lion does, at least. And a pounce in onto the Medusa. She activates Mana Shield and Stone Gaze, starts right-clicking down the Slark, and ends up actually just... He is stone while facing away, and just walks away. Gets out of range of that. But the Storm is coming in. Might want to zip forward here. How much mana does he have? He has plenty of mana to zip forward. And he has not been spotted out by any Dire wards. Another pounce, not quite able to make it. Axe's...
Dire ward does see him now.
Yep. Axe blinking in onto the Doom after using Battle Hunger. He does get Troll trapped. And Axe still wants to go for this, so he's going to start moving forward, and Doom is within Culling Blade range. Almost, almost. There he is, and Axe is out of mana for the Cull because he used Call and another instance of Battle Hunger. But that Blink Dagger being put to good use, solo killing off the Doom. And actually, because of this space, the Slark has overtaken both the Doom and the Medusa. And he looks like he's going to be able to split push this top tower with impunity while his team pushes the mid. Storm zipping forward, getting a kill onto the squishy Lion. He does get ulted by Venomancer though, and he gets galed as well, so he is going to go down. Going to try to deny the Rosh, but I don't think he's quite going to make it. Got very close though. If he zip dodged that last tick, he could have been okay. Medusa coming back in, she gets another kill onto the Venomancer, or not Venomancer, onto the Vengeful Spirit with her snake. The other snake, the Venomancer coming in, he gets the Gale off onto the Omni Knight, and a right click will clean her up. A Blinken by the Axe being futile, not quite far enough to get the call off onto their heroes. So Dire say we'll take it, but we can dish it right back out. They're gonna come in and dive our towers. Maybe you get a pick, but we're gonna clean you up on the way out. Adusa has finished her Yasha. She has 1500 gold on top of that. Well, maybe interesting, maybe not. She might go for something fun, like a Mask of Madness, but she's probably just gonna get the Manta, get the Scotty, get the Lincolns. Maybe not a Lincoln since she went Yasha first.
What do you think about the Bristleback finishing his treads first before finishing the Vanguard?
Well, it didn't work for him, apparently. He didn't actually get his treads off the courier in time. The magic missile going out onto the Vengeful Spirit to make sure that everybody can extract cleanly. Lion dying as well. I didn't even see him die. He is so squishy right now and not level 6 yet.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
So he maybe finished the treads first because he was gonna die there. Would be the reason I would expect. Axe blinking in and calling the Doom, putting that movement speed slow off onto the Medusa, and he looks like he wants to try and go in again. He doesn't have mana for a call plus a Battle Hunger though, or for a excuse me, for a Culling Blade plus Battle Hunger, or any combination of two spells really.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Doom actually calling GG already. Not sure if that's going to be cancelled by them or not. Vengeful Spirit successfully TPing away. Omni Knight is going to go down for it though. Bristleback moving forward onto the Axe, slowing him down. But Axe can blink here soon. He's not going to be able to get it off. Bristleback's going to get too close, too quickly. Slark TPing towards top lane is going to prevent him from doing that.
Bottom tower looks like Radiant's gonna take their tower. Dire does have their glyph. Looks to be like it's gonna be denied.
Yep, Doom's gonna TP down there and get it just fine. So you're saying he finished his treads first? He's on the courier. Okay.
Yes. He did have the gold to get his Vanguard if he ran up to their secret shop over here. But he bought his treads instead.
Well, I think treads is probably a better farming item because of tread switching. And probably he's expecting then that he'll be able to have the time to farm up the rest of that Vanguard instead. Or maybe he's just going to keep the casual, the casual Stout Shield and turn the Ring of Health into a Hood and then a Pipe. Which would be okay this game because of the Storm and the Vengeful Spirit, but the Omni Knight damage is pure and everything else is physical. So maybe he's just content to leave it at a Ring of Health. We'll see though. Lion again dying over here. Looks like he probably walked that way after Axe used some Battle Hunger.
Storm having a little bit of fun with that regenerate. Zipping casually away.
It takes a right click there as he zips into the creeps though, so he's unable to make full use of it. They are starting to rotate forward and they're going to come on this Doom. Clark sees him, he blinks forward. Slark went for Blink Drums and Treads over the Shadow Blade that you occasionally see. I like the Blink better, personally.
Stacks being spotted out by the Radiant Ward. Medusa taking it. Wonder if they're going to do anything about it. I don't think they can contest this.
They might be able to, but they're being dewarded now, so they probably aren't going to want to actually move forward. That Magic Missile did, like, no damage. Is she only got 1 level in it? Yeah, only 1 level.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The stun duration doesn't scale that well, so...
This is a lot of farm for Medusa. Much needed.
Yep, that's actually going to catapult her right back to the top of the charts. Axe gets in there, though, and he gets the call-off on 2 of them, and he's going to get this Ancient Black Dragon to help him. Get some spins off, but Axe is going to finger him, and Deuce is going to right-click him. There's no way for them to stun the Vengeful Spirit, however. Unfortunately, their only stuns, or their only TP cancels are on Doom and Lion. And Doom's not around, Lion had already backed off because he was low.
Double damage.
Slark getting a DD here. Let's see how this ends up going for him. Storm has finished his Orchid. Slark wants to get forward. He's going to blink forward onto the not Vengeful Spirit, onto the Venomancer, and that DD is going to just ensure that he goes down very, very quickly. Venomancer really had absolutely no chance. That DD, unfortunately, was not quite spotted out by this Plague Ward. And with that pick, it looks like Radiant maybe are looking to go into Rosh, or maybe they're just gearing up to try and get a gank across the map. Storm split pushing bottom. They see the Doom. They want to go after him, it looks like. Medusa has finished up her Manta style, and she's going for a Scotty next. Potentially Lincoln's. The Ultimate Orb can be used as part of that, but since she skipped it early, I think she's going to continue to do so. And just build up that Scotty. That fantastic EHP. A smoke by the Radiant's going to ensure that Hax can call that Doom off almost immediately. Blade mail damage plus Slark right clicks are just going to clean him up very, very quickly. And Doom is looking quite sad at this point. Down below the Storm Spirit in net worth. He's 4th in net worth as a Doom, which is not really a position you ever want to be in. His Midas and his Devour both on cooldown right now. And they got that one pick going to keep going. They actually managed to spot out the Medusa. Storm zipping through all the heroes, going off on the Lion. He gets a couple of uphill misses, but he's still able to clean up the Lion and the Venomancer on the back lines. Slark is going to right-click down the Medusa and his ulti while he can't take the split shot damage. Guardian Angel being used as well to keep the team alive. Bristleback's going to get swapped back. And Doom calls GG. Everybody moves back.